Hey everybody, I'm Ray.
And I'm Paul.
We are the Alconauts. Today we've got a couple of special guests with us. We've got Eric Martin, owner of Taps Brewhouse, and we've got Andy from Revive the Rose. And I just drew a blank on Andy's last name. I've been practicing all day.
Glonaco.
Glonaco, that's it.
Well, that's a tongue twister.
Awesome. So today we're here, like I said, at Taps Brewhouse, and we are going to be sampling Bar Down Lager. So Bar Down Lager is a collab brew with the guys from Revive the Rose, hence why Andy has joined us today.
Hell yeah.
And yes, this is a 5% lager, but it's a flavored lager from what I understand. It's been brewed with some rosehip and some hibiscus, I believe.
That's right. You got it.
So I'm looking forward to getting into this one. Like I said, 5% alcohol, and it's a lager.
Well, for the benefit of our audience, Eric, Andy, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you've been up to, and how you guys got to getting this beer together?
Oh, yes, I'll do. So I'm Eric Martin. I own Taps Brewhouse in Niagara Falls. We've been here, we were actually just discussing this for 12 years almost, coming this summer. At the moment, we have 8 different beers out. Bar Down is our newest one, and it's the one. Actually, Andy came to me and said we want to make a beer for Revive the Rose, and we got a video already lined up for the name of this beer. And then we put together a bunch of different sample brews, and we figured, well, let's do something with rose, right? So we tried rose hips, and the hibiscus just worked with it too. So it's a really good kind of fruity but not overpowering, and you get some kind of raspberry notes in there, and it's got a little bit of just an amber color too.
Yeah, no, it's dangerously smooth, this beer. And my name's Andy Glonaco. I'm the lead singer of the band Revive the Rose, and the behind the scenes drummer, I guess, at this point. We were very fortunate. We're from Welland, Ontario, by the way, and we've been a band for about going on 7 years now. And Taps Brewhouse here has been one of our stomping grounds as a band, and it only made sense to come to Taps Brewhouse and make our first beer as a rock and roll band. And the big reason why we actually made this beer was because we actually somehow convinced EA Sports to put our song in the NHL 21 video game. And obviously we were during a pandemic, couldn't tour the song, and we said, well, we've always wanted to make a beer. So we went to the best of the best, which is E-Rock Martin right over here. And here we are today.
That is awesome. Well, before we crack these open, I'm going to go through the process for everyone at home and for you guys over here. So basically the way this works is we're going to crack these guys open, pour them into our glasses, and we're going to have an initial taste. From there, we'll get an initial opinion about this beer. We'll have a little bit of a chit-chat with Eric and Andy. We'll get ourselves down to just a little under the bend. I don't have my bend glass today, but we do have these fantastic glasses from Taps Brewhouse. Once we get around the bend, we'll see if our opinions stay the same, at which point we'll have a few more conversations with Eric and Andy. Before we get to the bottom of the glass, we're going to get to our final chug. And whether it's good or bad, we're going to shove this thing right down the back of our throats. So, that being said, gentlemen, let's crack these open because I am thirsty.
Yes.
Me too.
Cheers, everybody.
All right. Oh, it's got a bit of a reddish color to it, eh?
Oh, yeah. Very red. Much rose. Don't listen to me about opinions on the beer. I've drank too much of it, so.
How'd you make out with that pour, Paul?
What's that?
How'd you make out with that pour down there?
You know, with these glasses, it makes it a lot easier.
It's pretty good.
Absolutely.
I think everyone did pretty good.
Yeah, very Instagram pours, everybody.
I did have to go back to the NBPI, the National Beer Pouring Institute, for a couple of refreshers, but I think I'm back, totally back.
Ray had to take the course 2 times.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to the principal's office.
Okay, well, let's take a sip. Let's get an initial taste on these guys, and let's see what we think, guys.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh,
Just like Mama used to take.
You know, it's funny. I wasn't expecting any raspberry hint at all. Since you mentioned that, Erica, I smell it and I taste it.
Yep.
It's But there's no raspberry in it.
No, it's we use dried rose hips and hibiscus, and the hibiscus is the flower. Rose hips are the berry, the type of rose bush, and they're both dried, and they've added some color. You see, obviously, this would normally be kind of just a light colored lager, normally. So it picked up. I think it picks up more of the color from the from the hibiscus, and probably more of the flavor from the rose hips. But I definitely get like more strawberry, raspberry sort of flavors out of it. I mean, could anyone say what a rose hip tastes like, really, anyway?
Yeah,
but
this is my first time really consuming a rose hip. But honestly, in regards to the beer in general, I feel like we tapped a pretty unique market for it. Like I've never tasted anything like this, so that's why it's super cool. Like we got to do this beer. Yeah, you know.
What do you think, Paul? What's your initial?
You know what? I'm drinking it. It tastes like a lager right off the bat. You get that mouthfeel. It's very gentle. And then you get this sweetness, and I'm trying to put my finger to it. And then now that you mentioned the raspberry, now I'm thinking raspberry. But yeah, it's very subtle, and it's very distinct. I really like it. It's almost confusing my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm enjoying it. It's going down pretty smooth. So as a light beer guy, I'm having an easy time drinking this. So far, I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Unreal.
When it came to putting this drink together, obviously you had to go through a recipe, you had to come up with the ideas. How many tries did it take to get you to what we have here?
So actually, it came together pretty well, surprisingly. I remember Andy and the guys in row I, the Rose, sat down, and it had 3 growlers sitting there.
Yeah.
The first one kind of blew up because basically we were using tea, like tea, rosehip, and hibiscus in the one, and something happened with the carbonation, so we took off the lid of the growler and just like sprayed out. And we went through 3, and then the first batch is basically like we tweaked it a little bit at that point too. It's hard to figure out how much when you make basically a very small batch and then scale it up to a big batch is really hard. So you're kind of feeling out how much you should do. You don't want to overpower something, but you also want to get the flavor out of it too. So in a 1,000-liter batch of beer, we used about 18 pounds of rosehip hibiscus mixed into it.
Wow,
That's not cheap either, but and then it sits on there and ages on it for about a month. We kind of tried it in 2 weeks, wasn't enough, and then it didn't really pick up much more after about the 3-week mark. So, but we started with basically 3 trials. One of them was super red. One of them didn't really pick up any flavor, and then the other one was kind of right in between. So we went with that one and tweaked it a little bit.
That's right. The
batch.
first one was very light. I remember that, and then the one was kind of like not much was different.
Yeah.
And the third one, we're like, damn, it's a hearty taste right there.
Yeah.
You know what? The whole thing came together pretty darn quick, man. Like literally, I messaged him, and then before you know it, we had samples whipped up already. And I told the boys, hey, we gotta go to Taps and drink some beer. So we gotta try it out. And then like a month later, here we are rolling out a whole beer. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody's already calling to.
That's
Yeah, probably.
we'll get our secretary to answer that.
I'm not sorry I placed you on hold for 5 minutes. I was hoping you'd hang up.
Okay, so you've been around for a while. You were saying 12 years earlier.
Yep.
You must have gone through a plethora of different recipes. How many beers do you guys sell now, and how can people get them?
Okay, so we have at the moment 8 beers, so bar down, and then we have 3 core brands: our Flying Colors Lager, our Elegant Effect Ale, and our Art Attack IPA. And we have some seasonals at the moment. COVID's being friendly to us, in that we have more available than usual because we don't have as many customers buying it. But we have our Sundress Wit, which is a really good summer beer. We have our Pumpkin 3.14, or Pumpkin Pie, which is our
One of my favorites, by the way.
which is our kind of Halloween fall beer. Still have a little bit left. And then we have our Sweater Weather Ale, which is a spiced winter ale.
Is that the cinnamon one?
Yeah, it's got cinnamon. It's got some of the same spices as the pumpkin, but it's a little more kind of a warmer,
Right.
kind of winter, heartier beer. All the beers are available in cans, which is new for us. We've only been canning for about 3 months now. Again, a COVID change. And in growlers from the brewery. You can buy all of our beers, both growlers and cans, on our website, tapsbeer.ca, and that's where you also get Bar Down, provide the rose beer. And we do ship all over Ontario, and we have free delivery over $50 orders too within the Niagara region.
Well, I don't know how you guys are doing, but I'm plowing through this a little bit faster.
I don't know if I was allowed to sip again. Like, can I have another sip?
Absolutely, sip as much as you want to
Try it,
sip.
there's more here.
I'll tell you what. Let's have a couple more sips. Let's get this past the bend on these glasses, and let's see if our opinions have changed on this. All right? Cheers, guys.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
I gotta say, sipping through this while everyone was talking, one of the thoughts that came across my mind was, it's almost like if you took a berry iced tea and you put carbonation in it and mix that with a lager. It's very smooth. It's got that light taste. I can see drinking this on a nice hot summer's day.
It's very summer beer.
It's something that would just quench your thirst. I'm really starting to enjoy it. The more I'm drinking this, the more I'm finding that I'm really starting to like that taste. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't linger in your mouth forever. But man, it just makes you want to drink a little bit more. What are your thoughts, Ray?
Yeah, I agree, Paul. I could totally see changing these little hockey sticks that are on the label to golf clubs and taking some of these to the golf course with me. It's absolutely.
You know what's funny about those? I actually screwed up. Those are field hockey sticks.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was not going to bring any attention to that. Because it's definitely not a field hockey kind of beer. I think I see more of a throw the sticks in the bag, put them on the back of the golf cart.
As you can tell, I'm not a very athletic human being, but I grew up with a lot of hockey surrounding me. But yeah, I guess I just completely missed the fact that it was field hockey.
Hey, let's just say it's good for any sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody's actually seen Andy on stage, he jumps and throws himself around pretty crazy out there. So I bet you can keep up with most people.
Yeah, I think he gets his workout on the stage more than
he could probably run a marathon if he was just give him a microphone and he'd be fine.
Yeah, seriously, it's like one of my only source of workouts for sure.
That's awesome. So, Revive the Rose, Bar Down. Am I mistaken by saying that this is named after one of your songs?
Yes, we have a song called Just Bar Down, and that was actually a song we wrote originally back in 2018 for the Niagara Ice Dogs. And man, I'll tell you, it definitely, it was a great way to get it into the Niagara community as a band, and really find an identity, with being from a small town, a small hockey town, Welland. And it was awesome, just growing up, I have a lot of hockey friends, and it's, I would go attend their ball hockey games or ice hockey games, and it just means a lot to me to write a song about hockey in general. I may not play a lot of hockey, but like just the fact to pay tribute to it, it's awesome. It's one of the best OHL teams in the OHL. But then it ended up snowballing all the way to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Those guys, they made it an official warm-up song, and it's been getting spun ever since. It even got spun during the playoffs, which is like insane. Wow. And then EA Sports, we finally got their attention through multiple clickbaiting and obviously the news of the Toronto Maple Leafs using the song, and also thanks to Brandon Perlini of the Detroit Red Wings, ex-OHL Niagara Ice Dog, really helped us out there. We got in a video game, which is distributed freaking worldwide, so yeah, we had to make a beer about it.
That is freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's all about thinking outside the box sometimes, it's more than just playing a show and just, what can we do to break the template, right? That's what we thought, and what does it mean to us, to be, I don't know, what is life to us, just having a good time, and dang, those hockey games are a good time for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, I've listened to this song, and this is going into my workout playlist.
Yes.
This thing gets you going right off the first note. It is just, it just energizes you. It gets the testosterone or estrogen going. And it is just a fantastic song. It just keeps you going throughout the entire thing. We'll put the link down below to the video for this song. you got to have a listen to it. And that the Maple Leafs are playing it during their warm up is even better. Not that I'm a Leafs fan, but I am.
I wouldn't admit that.
It's another cool thing about it too is my old man's a huge Leafs fan, so that was cool about that part was my dad's favorite team, and now his sons representing boys, so
that's pretty good.
That's a little heartwarming moment, but either that or the beers keep me all warm and fuzzy, but who knows?
It's cool. So let's switch gears a little bit here. Just sort of talk about taps a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, you've got a huge space here. You've got great pub food and a really a vegan friendly menu. You've got a ton of stuff on there for the different dietary, I guess, concerns or choices that people are making these days. And as always, music is a huge part of what you guys do down here.
Yep.
You've got the big stage outside, and now you guys are on Skip the Dishes now, from what I understand. You can call direct.
Yep.
To order takeout. You're welcoming 10 people in now.
As of Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see what happens the next time.
Yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed that things keep opening. Have you guys got anything planned for the summer? Should we get back opened up? Or are you gonna?
It's a tough one to plan right now. I got so many people who want to do events here, and I keep saying, okay, well, the date's yours, but let's not go any further than that. As you know, Ray, working in the entertainment industry too, it's really hard to plan stuff just to find out that you can't do it, which we've all been through in the last year. But I know for sure, just tying it back into the bar down again, that if we can do a big bash with Revive the Rose and some of the other bands that Andy works with and manages, we're going to do like the best banger party we can do out here. But it might only be 100 people, and they might be 6 feet apart, but it'll still be a fun time.
Hey, hopefully we get back to weather warms up.
Yeah,
you've got that amazing stage out in the parking
yeah,
lot.
I'd love to be able to do some show. We could have 600 people here because we haven't done that for a couple of years, but it's fun when it happens.
Yeah, you kind of have to roll the punches during this whole thing. You can't really you gotta have multiple plans almost. You can't just have this is what's happening this year. No. You have to have A, B, and C plan during this whole pandemic,
and then be ready to go to plan Z.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, just change on the dime, right? So
that goes for anybody.
Yeah,
any business.
I always I've joked with Andy before. I'm like, if it wasn't for COVID, I don't know if this beer would have happened because Taps was crazy busy. It's the kind of thing where I kind of just ignore the phone because there's so many people calling me and wanting to do things, and it just happened to be that I was doing absolutely nothing in the middle of a lockdown. And Andy's like, what about making a beer? I'm like, that's a pretty good idea, actually. And then, Andy and the band and some other people have been out pushing this beer like crazy. And we were in, a ton of bars and restaurants in the summertime that with this beer that we would never been in with other Taps products before, which is great. I mean, it's been a win-win, I think, for everybody, this beer.
Yeah, across a lot of Niagara.
Yeah, and it's... it's nice to do something different that makes things fun, right? When you have the time to do it. So,
well, absolutely. Out of curiosity, with your menu, if you could pair something with this beer, what would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I haven't even thought about that yet.
Personally, for me,
yes, do it.
The burger. The mushroom bacon burger. I'm a big fan of that with this beer. But Eric might have a whole different opinion than me. But that patty's just massive.
Let me think. So we have nothing really fruity on our menu, so it wouldn't work that way. I always go when you need something with big flavor. I would always pick the IPA. So with your burger, I would recommend an IPA. But I think this beer actually works well with kind of an easygoing app, like a salad maybe.
Yeah.
We don't have that on our menu, but if you ever had a strawberry, like a salad with strawberry in it, this would be the perfect beer.
Oh, totally.
You guys should do a bar down vinaigrette.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Here's the beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boil some down and.
Would the vinaigrette have alcohol in it?
Of course.
It's a Revive the Rose beer. It's got alcohol in it.
Yeah. Gotta be drinking somehow, whether you're eating it or you're drinking it.
A little on the salad, a little for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You've ordered a lot of salads, sir.
It's cheaper than drinking pints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have the summer fresh salad with the bar down vinaigrette and 5 vinaigrettes on the side.
Yeah. Just give me like 3 family salads, please.
Hold the lettuce. Just give me the dressing.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Looks like we're all getting down there to that final jug.
Oh.
I know I'm ready, only because I have a head start.
I'm ready.
This
Yeah, we're all about the same level. I think we're there.
Are you thinking we're ready for that chug?
I think we're ready. You guys ready?
All right. Well, explain the rules, right?
All right. Well, I'm going to count us either up to 3 or down from 3. Then we're going to chug. Throw this baby back. Usually there's a consequence with what we do, where the loser has to do a shot, but I don't think we're going to go there today, just because.
There's a whole bar.
The first person to get their glass back to the table without spilling the beer all over themselves wins. All ready?
Do the countdown.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit! You beat me by like a second.
Yeah.
Ray wins. Ray wins.
12-0. You're like the Undertaker, but for beer now.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like Charlie Brown when Lucy's holding the football, and I'm thinking I can do it, and then at the chug, she just pulls that beer football away.
The only thing is, it's not Lucy pulling the football, it's me. All right, so final opinion on that beer, Paul, after the chug. What do you think?
You know what? Usually after a chug, you get a whole bunch of flavors just flowing through your nasal cavity. It's still very light. It's still very easy to drink. Even as I was chugging it down, it wasn't burning my throat. So the carbonation didn't seem very high. You get these pleasant notes of that fruitiness. So I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna say if I'm gonna rate this out of 5, would I buy this? Yes. Would I stock it in my fridge? Yes. And I'm probably gonna say it's gonna be a 4 out of 5.
Unreal.
What are your thoughts, right?
I actually on the chug got a bit of a bitter, like a bit of hoppy bitterness that I didn't sense in the beer at all. On the initial taste and even coming around the bend. But the fruit is it's really fruit forward, but it's not overwhelmingly fruit forward. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But again, this is for me. I think this is going to be a really consistent summer beer in my fridge, and I'm actually going to rate it a bit higher than Paul. I'm going to give this one a 4.5.
Hell yeah!
Nice. Trying to make me look bad, eh, Ray?
I'm not really a big fan of fruit beers usually, like any of those lime flavored or raspberry rattlers or any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's usually too
Can't
much.
do it too sweet. There's no real. It's
There's no in
got a
between.
sweet. It's got a hint of sweetness, but it's not that sweet
very
that coats
subtle.
your throat.
Yeah, you get a very subtle taste to it.
That's what we were going for. So.
Yeah.
Since you guys chugged it back, did you notice anything different about the bar down lager?
I mean, I've been chugging these back since we made it, so to me, like the only thing that happens is it kicks my ass in the morning. But like other than that, like a smooth sailing for me. I don't know about you, Eric.
I'm good. I don't chug beers very often, and we're all burping a little bit now, but I guess that goes with the territory. But nothing that I didn't like for sure. Now another because we're all empty.
Yeah, this definitely tastes like another.
That's the thing about this beer. I find it's always like you taste on your tongue. You're like, where's the next one? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm glad. Like, it's just very.
Yeah, I hear you. I do want. I feel like I need to have another one.
That's good. That's what we want.
And I don't generally get that after the chug. Usually, I'm done. I'm gonna go back to my light beers.
Back to your old Vienna.
No,
That's even too fancy.
I'm not that old. Actually, I am. But nonetheless, I crave another one. So kudos to you guys. You did a great job on these beers.
That's all this guys.
Fantastic job. Great collaboration. Revival Rose, Taps Brewhouse. We want to thank you guys for being on our show. We want to give you guys the floor right now to talk about your businesses, your bands, your endeavors coming up. So let our audience know how we can get a hold of you, what you guys are up to, and what's coming up in 2021 for you guys.
Well, first, I wish I could tell you more about 2021. I'm hoping we're going to be open and we're going to have a lot of good times here. Lots of good beers coming. I was talking about the Monsters of Hops, which is a beer we've done before, but a big IPA. That one's going to be coming out for sure. I know that's a big crowd pleaser when we've done it before. The cans is a new thing for us, and it's going really well. Again, part of this collaboration was pushed us to moving to canning quicker, and I'm really glad we did, because people are enjoying this beer that it wasn't accessible to before, which is great. And we're just going to keep chugging through this pandemic and coming out even stronger on the other side. Anybody can do.
Once we got a time, I guess, man. Yeah, for sure. You know what? We're just Revive the Rose. We're launching some new music this year. We already dropped our new single, Need You Now. It's available on rock radio. We even filmed the music video right here at Taps Brewhouse, but you won't be able to see that until later on this year in 2021. We're just going to keep drinking some bar downs and seeing where the rock and roll journey takes us this year. So can't really say much because we also don't really know. So but we can tell you new music. That's really about it.
And in terms of social media and websites, where can people find this beer? Where can people order food? What are your links?
Yep, so tapsbeer.ca. You can buy beer right online there. You can buy beer at the brewery here. Food you can order through Skip the Dishes from Taps, and you can call our number 289-477-1010 to order takeout as well. The Instagram and all the other social media is at Taps Brewhouse.
Yep. We also have the Instagram specifically. Actually, we have a Bar Down Lager Instagram. Just for its own little party right there. So if you want some good content, a reminder that you need a Bar Down Lager, follow Bar Down at Bar Down Lager, and you will not forget that you need one. So.
And any social media for Revive the Rose?
Yes, sorry. You can also follow at Revive the Rose, and we have just about every kind of content you can imagine on there. So
you guys got some great merch on your website too, right?
Yeah, we do. We got a few vinyls left. We got some hoodies, and we will be having some more merch drops on the way this year. So not announced, but we will have more new merch on the way for you. So. At Revive the Rose, everybody, and rock and roll.
Once again, I want to thank you guys for being on the show, Andy and Eric. It's been an absolute blast. Love the beer. I'm still thirsty.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
That being said, I'm Paul.
I'm Ray.
And this is Eric and Andy. And we are the Alconauts.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.
Take care.